Mods, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too? Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which
that.
one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot me. Bro, thank you, Mitochondria. Appreciate you.
I gotta stop with him if you even. We need to delete this.
Mods, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too? Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which
that.
one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot me. Bro, thank you, Mitochondria. Appreciate you.
I gotta stop with him if you even.
Breaking news. The music world has been shaken to its very core. What started as whispers online has now turned into a storm no one can ignore. A name once adored by millions, D4VD, is now at the center of one of the darkest, most disturbing scandals in recent memory. In 2024, a young 13-year-old girl, Celeste Diva, vanished without a trace. For a year, her family searched, begged, and prayed for answers. Hope flickered like a dying candle. And then, the unthinkable happened. Her decomposed body was discovered in the trunk of a Tesla. Not just any Tesla, but the Tesla belonging to D4VD himself. Stuffed into plastic bags. Forgotten like trash. The world gasped. How could a child who once laughed, dreamed, and sang along at concerts end up discarded in such a horrifying way? But the nightmare didn't end there. Just as fans mourned, shocking videos and images surfaced, Celeste appearing at concerts even in 2025. In the crowd. Alive. Or was she? And right there beside her, D4VD's own brother. What does that mean? Did the family know? Was this a cover-up bigger than anyone imagined? Tonight, we dig deeper. This isn't just tragedy. This is betrayal. This is fear. And this is a story that will make you question everything you thought you knew about fame, music, and the monsters hiding in plain sight. Stay with me. Because the truth? It's darker than you can possibly imagine. When Celeste vanished in 2024, people thought maybe she had gone silent for personal reasons. Some said she was taking a break from the spotlight, others whispered about private struggles, but no one ever imagined the nightmare that was about to unfold. For months, her fans begged for answers, her family stayed eerily quiet, and the industry carried on as though nothing had happened. But in the shadows, a story far darker than anyone could have scripted was taking shape. And then, almost exactly a year later, the unthinkable happened. Celeste's decomposed body was discovered in the trunk of D4VD's Tesla. Wrapped in plastic bags, hidden away like something disposable, her remains told a story of silence, betrayal, and cruelty. It wasn't just a tragedy, it was a chilling reminder of how quickly fame and trust can turn into a coffin of secrets. The public was shattered. How could the rising star, the same D4VD adored by millions, be linked to something so horrific? Parents clutched their children tighter, fans wept openly on social media, and the internet exploded with rage and disbelief. For days, hashtags demanding justice trended worldwide. People said it felt less like news and more like a twisted horror movie unfolding in real time. But the mystery only deepened. Just when everyone accepted Celeste's death as final, shocking footage surfaced. Blurry images and shaky clips from a 2025 concert where Celeste was allegedly spotted, alive, walking among the crowd. And the most disturbing part? She wasn't alone. Standing beside her was Caleb, D4VD's own brother. Suddenly, the case shifted from a story of death to something much darker: deception, cover-ups, and family secrets buried too deep to ignore. Was Celeste truly dead? Was the body in the trunk even hers? Or was this a staged performance designed to manipulate the world? Questions mounted, and the line between reality and nightmare grew thinner with every passing day. One thing was clear. This wasn't just about music, or fame, or relationships. This was about power. And the terrifying lengths people will go to protect it. After Celeste's supposed death, the cracks in D4VD's perfect image began to widen. Fans noticed something chilling. Almost overnight, he started unfollowing anyone connected to Celeste. Close friends, collaborators, even small accounts that had once been linked to her, gone. People called it exactly what it looked like: damage control. It was as if he was erasing her from his digital life, trying to wipe away any trace that tied them together. But the internet never forgets. Screenshots flooded Twitter and TikTok. Fans compared timestamps, showing how the unfollows matched the timeline of the investigation. To them, This wasn't coincidence, it was calculated. And that's when an old music video resurfaced, sending chills down everyone's spine. In it, D4VD is seen dragging a heavy bag to a car, stuffing something into the trunk, and slamming it shut. At the time, people praised it as dark art. Now, they watched it with new eyes. Was this entertainment, or a confession hiding in plain sight? Meanwhile, leaked chat logs began to circulate. Messages from Celeste's own friends painted a haunting picture. They had asked her directly, "Are you safe? Are you going back to D4VD again?" Those words alone suggested they knew something. They knew she was in danger, yet she kept returning. The subtext was terrifying. Not only was she under his influence, but those around her feared she might never escape it. Then came the most suspicious move of all. Just days after police raided his home, D4VD and his manager abruptly abandoned their $20,000 a month Hollywood Hills mansion. No warning, no explanation, just vanished. To many, it screamed one word: guilt. Why leave such luxury behind unless you were running from something? And then there was the Hello Kitty obsession. On the surface, it looked innocent, even playful. But investigators and fans alike began to connect dots. Was it really just a quirky fixation, or a sinister tactic to lure underage girls into his world? The theory spread like wildfire, and suddenly what once seemed harmless was now being called a mask for manipulation. The darkest clue, however, came from TikTok. In one video, he reshared a post that read, "Me if I see her talking to other dudes." The clip cut to disturbing visuals of raw meat being chopped apart. Was this humor, or was it a veiled threat aimed directly at Celeste? By now, the evidence felt overwhelming. But still, no official answers came. And the silence from D4VD's inner circle, his family, his team, his friends, only fueled suspicions that this wasn't just one man's crime. It was a cover-up. If Part 2 raised eyebrows, Part 3 is where the story takes its darkest turn. Because what emerged next was more than coincidence. It was a haunting pattern that made even loyal fans question everything they thought they knew about D4VD. The most shocking whispers came from Celeste's own family. Her mother admitted she had long suspected her daughter was seeing someone older, someone named David. And Caleb, Celeste's brother, told friends that he had seen her picked up in the very same Tesla where her body was eventually discovered. Imagine the horror of knowing that your sibling may have been driven to her death in plain sight, and no one stopped it. But the nightmare didn't end there. Rumors spread that Celeste had been pregnant, and that D4VD was supplying her with drugs to keep her silent. Screenshots of alleged conversations hinted at manipulation, coercion, and control. Fans pieced these together with his lyrics, noticing references that suddenly read less like poetry and more like confessions. Obsession, possession, desperation. Was his music just art, or a diary of crimes hiding in plain sight? Then came the chilling realization that this wasn't a secret confined to two people. It seemed everyone around him knew. His Discord group, his team, even his closest friends. They joked, they speculated, they saw things unfold, but none of them spoke up. This wasn't just silence. It was complicity. A collective cover-up that stretched wider than anyone wanted to believe. And just when fans thought it couldn't get darker, they remembered his tour. At one show, a casket was displayed on stage. A condolence book was placed out front for fans to sign. At the time, people assumed it was performance art, a dramatic gesture. But after Celeste's body was found, those same fans looked back in horror. Was this not just art, but a veiled confession? A sick joke? A way of flaunting the truth while the world applauded? Every piece of evidence painted the same picture: a star consumed by obsession, a young girl trapped in his orbit, and a community too blinded by fame to intervene. The case had become bigger than a crime. It was a tragedy that questioned the very nature of celebrity culture. How much are we willing to ignore in the name of music, fame, and idolization? And as the questions grew louder, one terrifying thought echoed across every timeline. If this really was a cover-up, how many more people are protecting D4VD? And worse, how many more Celestes are out there, still trapped, still unheard? And now, my friends, the question isn't just about what happened to Celeste. The real question is, how long will the truth be buried? And how many more lives could be at stake while silence continues? This isn't just a scandal. This is the story of a young girl who trusted the wrong person and paid the ultimate price, and a system that looked the other way. A family broken, a fan base divided, and an entire industry refusing to answer the most basic questions. But here's where you come in. Because cases like this only stay hidden if we let them. If we scroll past. If we shrug our shoulders and say that's none of our business. No. It is our business. So share this video. Talk about Celeste's story. Demand answers. Tag the platforms, the labels, the so-called friends who stayed quiet. Do not let her voice be silenced twice, first by death, and then by neglect. Because if we don't ask the hard questions now, who will? And how many more Celeste will suffer before someone finally says, enough is enough? Justice starts with awareness. And awareness starts with you.